Sirius XM, the virus. The Opie and Anthony Show.
Back with the O&A Show. Thanks for checking us out today.
Hi.
A little over 2 hours, and then it's meeting time.
Oh, boy. The countdown. Great. Yo.
Where's Jimmy?
Jimmy went to go get an autograph.
Ah.
Yep, he's got a picture. Did you get it?
See him. No, he's
What?
somewhere.
Wait, he's in the building?
The Fonz is in the building?
Hey.
I have a good picture with him, but I just want to get him to sign it. But
Yeah.
I missed because Spencer said he's coming up right now, but I had to come in and get the photo because I didn't know he was going to
Shit, so where'd he go?
I don't know. I'm looking for Spencer all over. He's here somewhere.
What show is he doing?
He's doing a bunch of them. We tried to get him, but he won't do any. They said he was very nice about it, but he's afraid of all the
What if we
shock
promise
stores.
that we won't do anything crazy with him?
But and then he knew we have Brooke Shields. I think he's just nervous about this kind of.
Is he doing BT in the morning?
No,
No.
he's actually a big fan, but he's doing
Oh, Jesus, no.
BT in the morning.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
You're like, Phil Zetley, come on.
I gotta get him to sign it, but I don't want him to use cardboard because it fucks up when they sign on cardboard because the.
Oh, you get the, the little corrugations.
So how's it going to be? What is he going to sign?
He's rolling.
I don't know, Opie. I gotta find
You're
something.
panicking. Where's
No
Bert?
one's helping me.
Where's the Conqueror? Where's Bert the Conqueror? Is Bert here?
Yeah, he's right outside the door.
You should use,
Put newspaper over the cardboard and then put the photo on.
Nah, it'll still fuck up. but thank you.
what a dumb idea.
Hey, Bert. What's up, brother?
There he is.
Hey, man.
The fuck is this?
Take a seat there, Bert.
Oh, Juice. Thanks, Roland.
Oh,
Obviously,
hey,
you're...
Roland. Why does your voice sound all gravelly?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jets.
Jets. You wore that shirt just the other day.
Oh, I did a nagel. I woke up at 7.
Oh, shit. A nagel.
Yeah.
Did your alarm screw up, or did you lose power, or both?
I did exercise for the first time in 20 years, and this fat ass passed out.
What'd you do?
Wow.
The bike.
You know people die from that, right?
No.
Like
Yeah.
not working it up 20 years.
Yeah.
And then you just start working out. It's like,
you gotta-
damn.
You got to
That's
start
always how the heart
slow.
attack happens at the gym.
I don't remember.
Because it knocks some of that plaque off your
I did
arteries and then
elliptical for an
clogs some
hour,
shit up.
Went home, passed out, then woke up at 7:10, 7:15.
Wow. You beat the shit out of yourself.
You literally passed out and then woke back up like
Yeah.
like your body did a snooze alarm on you.
Yeah, and I just woke up and then.
Which means you're not working out anytime soon, huh? You're going to have to take a couple of days off now.
I don't feel sore. I feel like more refreshed. I slept in. That's fantastic. But
Oh, because of the sleep part,
The
not the
sleep
workout part. Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Roland tweeted me last night. I was with you guys know Cowhead, right?
Yes.
I was with Cowhead drinking, and
Is he here in New York?
yeah, he just left this morning.
What's
How
he
long was
doing
here
up
for?
here?
He came up to see me do Letterman. He
Oh.
flew up
Well, you
there.
guys are old friends?
Yeah, I've known Cal since
He's a good guy, man.
for
I
a
like him.
really long time.
He should have came by and said hi to
He was
us.
going to change his flight, and then he was like, he's got to go back and do radio this afternoon.
How was Letterman?
It's awesome, dude. It was so surreal. It's so bizarre when you get him to laugh and do a Daveism, like when he does that like smirk to camera, like or one of those, and you're sitting there. Like when I sat down on the thing, I started giggling because I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking happening.
Yeah.
Like it's such a benchmark in your career.
The first time, that is a fucked up thing.
And he does one of his bits, and you get him to do one of his bits.
Yeah.
He's like, you're one of these guys, huh? And you're like, fuck, holy shit.
He's doing that to me. What the fuck is going on?
It's like fucking a porn star, and then being like, oh my god, I'm really gonna blow a load on her chest. Like, that's probably a bad analogy that Travel Channel would hate, but that's exactly what it feels
What
like.
the hell?
When you stand in the back there, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, and
so
you just,
fun. And
you're
all
like,
the guys that you've seen as characters
like,
on the show,
oh,
the black
shit.
guy and the guy with the red hair,
Yeah.
and you're like, holy shit, they're real. They really have
I
jobs.
know, that's fucked up, man.
It's so
And then you walk
bizarre.
out and you think, how am I going to walk? Should I look at the audience and wave?
Yeah,
Should I
like, exactly. Fucking exactly. It's like Jim is the perfect body
It's
of this
so fucked
of this
up.
moment. Is that you're very real in those like I'm I'm not famous, but I should wave to the people.
Yeah.
You embody that because you're very honest about that moment. But a lot of guys are like bullshit. Like a lot of guys would go out and be like, "Hey," like paparazzi was waiting outside.
Yeah.
And I got out of my car in a white T-shirt that I was sweating in, and jeans. And they're like, "Hey, turn here!" And I was like, "You don't want to fucking see me. You're waiting for Shia LaBeouf." So I walked out. I just walked out like a fucking serial killer right to the chair and sat down.
Nice. And then you sit down, and for some reason, I was compelled when I sat down to just go, "Hey, Dave."
Yeah,
it's like, "Hey, Dave."
Did you want to look at Paul and go, "Hey, Paul"?
Yeah,
You just want to say that shit.
All you realize you're doing is an imitation of everyone you've seen. Dude, it's hilarious.
You're just like the A-listers that do the show.
It's like, I earned this, motherfucker. I earned this.
When inside, you're like, you don't want me to be on that couch.
And then it wraps, and you're done, and you want to lean over and have the moment where
have that talk where it's like,
yeah,
the music's playing, they're going to commercial.
So
I think I did that just to make it look like that.
Yeah.
Because the people at home, they don't know.
Yeah.
So you lean over and you're like, "Hey, so you're going to commercial, huh?" Just to make it look that way. Yeah. And I did realize all I was doing was an imitation of everyone I've seen on Carson, on Letterman.
Just
on
mimic
every
it.
other, mimicking from when I was a kid.
We had to walk out,
great.
and there were tennis balls all over the fucking stage.
I saw you got y'all's
We had to
appearance.
walk.
Oh, yeah.
And we dressed up in
great.
suits.
Oh, it was
like
great.
we're going
That
to
was the one
church.
thing. They're like, "What are you gonna wear?"
What are you
And
wearing?
Cowhead called me. He's like,
What are you
"Do
wearing?
not wear a fucking suit.
Don't wear a fucking
You've never
suit."
worn a suit in your life." He's like, he's like, "Go like you're on stage. Wear a t-shirt, jeans, and your boots." And I was like, "Yeah." So I packed it. My wife's like, "Who the fuck do you think you are, Johnny Depp?" She was like, "Get a collared fucking shirt and pack a colored fucking shirt."
Slob.
So
What
then
are you
I
doing?
showed up with 4 colored shirts because I was like, I don't know which one will look good.
Yeah.
Oh, I was such an amateur. Oh, it was
Know who
ridiculous.
loves you over
no,
there
we
is
don't like the
Justin loves you.
Oh, Justin's
Justin's
yes.
emailing me. He's like,
Justin's
"You have
cool.
to have Bert on the show." I'm like, "We're gonna have Bert on the show.
Yeah.
Relax."
Justin was amazing.
This is
I
a
met-
good fit for us, Bert. The
I
Conqueror.
met him through Cal, and
Yeah, he's very cool.
oh, one of the fucking greatest guys. Him and his brother.
Yeah.
And it was like
Solid
and
dudes.
They told me they're like, so these are the talking points that you're gonna do. They bizarre like Travel Channel's very I can say whatever I want on this show.
Yes, you
On
can.
this show,
They're
yeah.
very micromanaging me because I'm a little bit of a media nightmare. Like I have
Yeah.
a horrible digital footprint. Like my first meeting with the president,
funny.
she was like, "I typed in your name and I saw you get your asshole waxed," and I was like, "Yeah, that was
Yeah,
my
I
funniest
did
thing
that.
I've ever done." And she was like, "Yeah, well, that's not us.
We don't do that.
Wait,
here.
why did you get your asshole waxed?
It was a long time ago. I had a show called Hurt Bert, and I take dangerous man's jobs, and that was like what got the show. I got a full Brazilian wax. It's maybe the funniest thing I've ever done, and it's before Jackass. It's before all of that.
You did ball bag?
Yeah, I did the whole thing.
Wow.
I'm telling you when I say this, it's the funniest thing I've ever done. But it's also when segments were 7 minutes on TV, so it's like a 5-minute segment. Which
Fuck that.
I get there, and the producer Mike's like doing a conference call in the morning, and he's like, "So we want you to tell about the time you robbed a train in Russia. We want you to tell you about the time that you fought a bear. We want to tell about the time that you went to Disneyland and took acid, and then maybe we'll talk about the show." And I can see the PR people going, "What the fuck? Just talk about the show."
just the show.
And so I get there and I'm like, man, there's a lot of material. And they're like, it's going to be 9 minutes. And I was like, holy shit. And then Shia LaBeouf goes long and they're like, well, it depends. It's however long Dave wants.
Shit.
And but I was so nervous I had to tell all these stories that I've never like on national television. And then Dave just fucking so comfortable. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh, he must
he
have
made
been
it-
loving it.
he's-
Hey, can you tell us one of those stories? Because we didn't get to watch Letterman last night.
I didn't tell any of them. I just told.
Oh, you
I-
didn't?
No, I didn't. I ended up not. We just ended up talking about the show.
Why
And
did you jump, Bert? I read that you jumped like out of the. My ex-girlfriend did that, where you jump off the thing in
Stratosphere.
Vegas.
I was
Yeah.
the first person to do it.
Were you?
Yeah, I was the very first
Wait,
person
before
to do it.
before we go there, I want to hear.
guinea pig.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
before we go there though, I want to hear about you robbing a train in Russia. That's
a
crazy.
fucking-
Because then we'll get into the show and all this crazy shit you've done as Bert the Conqueror. I want to know more about Bert.
I'll tell you, it's so fucking bizarre because I've heard this show so many times, and you always think like, what will it be like with the first time I'm there? And then you're like, oh fuck, I guess I'm telling this Russian mob story. So I studied Russian in college. Just on a fluke, I thought it was a Spanish class, and showed up at noon, and they were introduced a different alphabet, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You come across as a party animal. How the fuck did you take?
I was the number one party animal in the country.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone magazine wrote an article about me, calling me the number one party animal in the country. So yeah, I'm not fucking by any stretch of the means wanted to learn the language. I just wanted to see. And the lady said, I need 14 people to take the class. If you stick around and just show up, I'll let you fucking get a C. I was like, done.
C,
fucking done.
Yeah, man.
It's Florida State. Fucking phone that shit in. So I ended up I had to take 4 seasons of Russian because all the kids that took it with me with Russian 1 then needed Russian 2 and 3 and 4. And then they go to Russia and they're like, fuck. So this is back when the mob ran Russia, okay? And so they told me on the flight over there, like, listen, we had to pay off the mob to chaperone us so that we don't get patted down everywhere we go. So we got 2 young gangsters that we'll meet. They're like, don't make eye contact with them. Don't engage them. Don't fucking... And nothing. Leave them alone. They're just to make sure we don't get robbed everywhere we go. And all I'm hearing is fucking, let's get to know these guys. Right?
These are the
These are
interesting
who I
guys.
want to party with. So the very first night, and I don't speak any Russian, the very first night I got a bottle of vodka, a 6-pack of Baltica, and I knock on their door, and this guy Igor answers the door.
Igor, yeah.
With just a wife beater and a cigarette and fucking track pants, total gangster. And he's like, "Shto." And I'm like, all the sentences I had practiced in my head just disappeared, and all I said with a bottle of vodka and a 6-pack of Baltica was, I am the machine. That's all that came out of my mouth. And he fucking starts laughing. He's like, what did you say? And I was like, I don't know, I'm the machine. And he's like, he's the machine! And then I ended up partying with him and all his friends for like an entire, 2 months, and they called me the machine. And so I mean, we partied like crazy. We went to a, I really shouldn't tell this part, but we went to like a mob boss's party, and the mob boss was like, I mean, I don't know if he was a real boss, but he was a big guy on the thing, and he was like, so this is the machine, and Igor's like, yeah, this is the guy I tell you about. And I was with one of my teachers who was a girl, and he goes, tonight I say we exchange women, and I was like, women? She's just my okay, all right, sure,
Yeah, whatever you need, man.
And he totally ended up fucking
Whatever you need.
He totally ended up. So then. We have to go to Moscow. Now, a different mob runs the trains, and a different mob runs Moscow. And Igor said, I can't go with you to Moscow. I can't even get on the train with you. But I've talked to the people that are going to be chaperoning you, and they're cool. They're going to party with you. They'll take care of you. And sure enough, man, we get to the train, and then 2 other gangsters, Igor and Igor, there are not a lot of names there, I guess, but these are their real names, are there. And he's like, this is the machine. If you give the machine vodka, you'll have a blast. And they're like, machine does not sit and coach with his class. The machine sits first class. I'm like, this is what I'm fucking talking about.
The machine.
And I mean, literally before we took off, the conductor of the train comes into our cabin, rips off the lapel to his shirt, hands it to me and goes, this is a present for the machine. It would be an honor to do a shot with you. I was like, these stories have gotten out of control. So within 20 minutes, we've drank all the booze. And Igor and Igor are like, let's go to the bar cart and get more vodka. I was like, sure. So we go into the bar cart, and Big Igor's like, machine, go behind the bar and grab bread. And I was at Kleb. And I'm like, oh, shit. I understood what he said. He's like, grab sear. And I was like, that's cheese. He's like, grab vodka. I'm like, I know that one.
I'm learning.
And then he's like, grab all the money. And I'm like, what?
Oh, shit.
He's
Wait
like,
a minute.
grab the money. And I look, and no one's fucking moving. And it's just him patting down people. And I'm behind the bar with a fucking loaf of bread, a bottle of vodka. And I'm like, holy shit, we're robbing the fucking train. So we take the money and we go back to first class. And the energy has changed in these guys' eyes. You can see it's like they're real gangsters.
Now it's business.
Like Igor was a pity pat gangster. These guys, I mean, our teacher came back to yell at me, this lady Val. She came back and she was like, you, sir, this is exactly, that was inappropriate. Big Igor takes a sip of vodka, spits it in her face, and goes, no one talks to the machine like that. She's like, I'm like, she does. It's okay if she does. He shuts the door. I swear to you, he then lifts up a thing of keys, and he goes, tonight when it gets dark, we're going to have some real fun. I was like, what? And he's like, we're robbing the whole fucking train. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, this has gotten way out of control. And sure enough, man, it gets dark, and we start fucking breaking into cabins.
It's like a Bond movie.
It's the most insane fucking event in my life where you're just sitting watching a crime happen and you're like, I wish I could stop it, but you're just part of it now. So we get done, we drink the whole night on the train, we pull into Moscow, and that same teacher comes up and she's like, the police have been alerted. We've told the authorities, we told you not to hang out with these people. It was your choice. I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, motherfucker. And Igor are like, fuck her. This is Russia. No one tells us in Russia. Mafia runs Russia. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to go to the gulag. I'm going to be a punching bag in the gulag. Yeah. And we pull up, and sure enough, man, the cops are sitting on the platform with my whole class who we robbed is sitting in their pajamas with their bags open, crying. Because if anyone ever woke up, like this one Hungarian girl woke up, and Igor just spit vodka in her face. So the cops are out there taking a thing, and Igor goes, fuck this, I take care of this. And I'm like, oh man. He goes out, and mind you, half of this is in Russian. He goes out and starts talking to the cop and yelling at the cop, like, Furigatero. I don't know what he's saying, but he's not like they're not exchanging
It wasn't
recipes.
bread and cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the fucking train car with little Igor, just thinking, "Oh, I'm fucked. I'm fucked." And then the cop starts yelling back, and they start pointing at me like, "Furigatero." And I'm like, "Oh, motherfucker!" And then the cop looks at me and points at me and says, "Yes!" Like, get over here now. And I'm like, "Motherfucker!" So I walk out of the train, walk across the thing, and it's that moment, that like Midnight Express moment.
Yeah,
where you're like,
yeah.
This is the end of freedom.
I'm fucked,
This
yeah.
is that cold where they find the pound of hash on your body.
Yeah.
And I walk up to the cop, and he looks at me and takes a beat, and he gets right in my face, and he's like, "So I understand you're the machine." He's like, "Tonight you party with us." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And we went out and partied with these fucking cops.
Russia.
And that was
fucking,
it.
It was it was Russia. It was the Wild West. It was.
Oh, by the way, machine, we need for you to kill someone tonight.
They were bizarre, man.
Yeah, that's like, wait a minute.
We went to a strip club, and he's like, he goes, "You drive cop car." And I'm like, "I'm not going to fucking drive a cop car." He's like, it was bizarre. There was a magazine out at the time, like a periodical that used to talk about these two guys. I remember reading it when I got back. They would, I'm sure I'm gonna exaggerate the story only because it's been in my head for so long, but they would get a head from a cadaver and they'd write an article about it, and they'd put it in the middle of the car and see how much it would cost to get out of having a head in the middle of the car. I swear to you, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but these guys would write these articles. It was fucking insane.
How much you'd have to pay?
Yeah, I don't
To
know.
be like, okay.
Yeah, it's a head. We get rid of the head. And Russia was insane back then. Like, insane.
What years?
This is 90, probably, I was 22, so probably 95, 94.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Communism gone.
Yeah.
They're just trying to figure shit
It was
out.
the Wild West, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, the most insane life experiences you could ever have. Stealing boats, like, just... And we went over there to study.
You're a weird fit for the Travel Channel now that
Yeah,
I've talked to you
me.
for a few minutes.
We did a meet and greet at the network, like right after the new regime took over, and they're like, I told that Russian mob story when I was on the X show, like 10 years ago, and we're doing like Fred Graver's the head of the Travel Channel, and they're doing like, so tell us, how do you interview kids? Like, because kids love my show. Like, I don't know why kids are obsessed with Bert the Conqueror. Like, if you've got a child that's like 4, show him Bert the Conqueror, and he's fucking glued. Like, and so he's like, how do you interview kids? Like, what's your, and then one of the young kids is like, can you tell about the time you robbed the train in Russia? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then someone's like,
I got it.
tell about the time you thought Will Smith was going to rape you. And I was like, oh, all right, sure. So, yeah, I'm an odd fit. I'm not like the other guys. But I think all those guys are like that kind of, you party with them.
Yeah.
Adam Richman's funny as shit. He's...
Damn, man. Yeah, the Travel Channel. Well, the Travel Channel's changed a bit over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it used to.
I mean, Bourdain was a heroin addict. So...
Who?
Oh, is that not?
No, I don't know.
No, Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain. I think it was pretty well documented.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, was a heroin addict. I feel like I fucking just said that.
No,
I didn't know what
Outing people, yeah. Yeah, let me tell you about this gay guy.
Wait, I get them all confused though. Bourdain did what show now?
He's the older.
Oh, No Reservations.
Yeah,
Okay.
No Reservations, and then it's Zimmern, me, and Adam Richman.
Right. Okay.
I think, are
Gotcha.
the hosts, and then Zach and those guys are Ghost Adventures.
Man. Wow. So,
insanity, man.
yeah, absolutely is.
Yeah, and so they wanted me to tell that
Wait, and
story.
you were voted the #1 partier
Yeah.
at Florida State?
Yeah.
And Florida State was named the top party school.
Wow. So then, if you're the #1 partier in the party school,
What makes you the #1
that's fucking
partier?
crazy.
I don't know. It was kind of like one of those just, how media.
Is it just alcohol or is it drugs too back then?
I mean, yeah, I was in college.
Yeah. Not even an answer, just yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. So I partied a lot, but then I just had outrageous stories. Like I was kind of I was the guy that like when I got to New York, everyone's like, you'll never be a comic because you're the party guy. Like that guy is never funny on stage. Like it's just everyone always says, if you're funny in a room, you're usually not funny on stage. It's the quiet guy who's in the side of the room thinking who's funny on stage.
That's what alternative guys think.
Yeah.
They think that because a lot of them are not funny in real life, well, that's what makes me special.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Colin's funny in person. Keith is funny in person.
Yeah.
Most,
That's what was so
most good
confusing.
comedians are funny in person.
All the guys I gravitated when I moved here was like Jim, Bobby Kelly, Ben Bailey, like DC, and then all the black comics like Tony Woods, Donnell Rollins, because I worked at the door at the Boston Comedy Club, and they were all funny to be around. I was like, well, fuck that. Like, I don't need to go to the East Village. I'll just do stand-up over here.
Be cool.
Yeah, but I took a shit on a pizza box to win an election, and that kind of got their attention. And I just had like bizarre stories. So then they were trying to write an article about Florida State originally, and it was too broad a subject. So then they just narrowed it down and just wrote an article about me.
Damn. Rolling Stone, right?
Yeah, Rolling Stone. And then Oliver Stone optioned the rights to my life. I got offered like a book deal, and then I did stand up for the first time in Tallahassee, and it went really well. Like now, I'd never do it now because I followed 4 national like touring comics from Florida who each did 20 minutes. What a bad in a bar. What a bad setup, right? and they're like, you just close the show. They wanted me to fail because they were like, fuck this guy.
Right.
And then I went up and I just didn't have any material. I'd never done stand up, and I just kind of talked for 20 minutes about whatever came to my mind, and I did really well. And they offered me my morning show in Tallahassee. And I was like, are you serious? And the guy's like, yeah. He's like, you come work with me and be my sidekick. And then in like 2 months, I'm leaving. I'm going to New York. I go, why aren't you staying in Tallahassee? He's like, fuck, who wants to live in Tallahassee? I was like, way to sell it to me. I was like, I'm fucking moving to New York too. And then moved to New York and started doing stand-up. But yeah, like I guess I was just always loud. Like, just one of those. Yeah, and I end up getting into weird fucking scenarios. So
that's the
party. How many years since you lived in New York?
It's got to be like 10 now.
I remember Bert. Every night I would see him, or 3 or 4 times a week. I can't believe it's been that many years since I saw you every night.
Yeah, I used to work the door. Boston Comedy's dead now, I guess.
It's not a club anymore. It's a restaurant.
Yeah, those are fucking. That seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, Red Johnny and the Round Guy and Chappelle.
I see him all the time.
You see Johnny, right?
I see Johnny all the fucking time. And Chappelle would come by. I remember that was like when Chappelle was like getting fucked by the industry, but he hadn't lost his mind yet. Not fucking horrible to say, but everyone knows.
No,
I'm sure he does too.
Yeah.
But I remember him telling me like I just got a development deal with Will Smith, and I was like really excited.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I remember. Those are like the most defining moments. So I remember Patrice O'Neill said the most brilliant thing to me. We were in Scotland together, and I had gotten this deal, and I'd gotten a TV show. It was me, Voss, and Patrice living in like a fucking flat, and fucking Patrice is just genius.
Yeah.
Sitting across from me, eating blood pudding with 5 eggs and just fucking sausage and meat. And just,
what brilliant thing did he say? Bert, I'm going to die before my time.
he was like, you know why I feel bad for you, Bert? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, just slopping it into his mouth. He's like, you got no foundation. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, when all this goes away, you go back to zero. But until you're a comic and you can fall back on a career of comedy, you got nothing. And I was like, in my head, I was like, who gives a shit? I'm getting on a TV show. And then sure enough, all those TV shows went away, and I was like, I got fucking nothing.
Now I got nothing.
Nothing. And literally, like Jay Moore just fucking saved my life. I opened for him one night. I'd never met him. I've met him like a couple times, but not like didn't know him. Met him, opened up for him in Ontario. KP Anderson was featuring, I was hosting, and after the first show Thursday, we did 2 shows Thursday, Jay said to me, so do you want to be like a real comic? And I was like, fuck yes. And he was like, okay. And he's like, KP, we're going to switch it up. Bert's going to feature. And then he's like, if you can do this, then you'll be my guy forever. And I was like, fuck. I went up, featured, killed it. And Jay was like, check my schedule. You'll just tour with me from now on. I was like,
damn.
Oh, like fucking.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was
great. Yeah. Great.
I'll take a movie.
That's great. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's bizarre coming back to New York. I don't like. I don't like it as much as I used to.
Where do you live?
I live in LA.
Oh, okay, LA guy.
Yeah, 2 kids.
Oh, LA is great when you're working, though. It's like every New York comic thinks you're supposed to hate LA, but then you go out there and you got a gig. It's actually fucking nice when you're doing a gig.
Fucking great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I love living in LA now. I've had like a month off. Because we wrap Bert the Conqueror in this other show, and I'm not going on the road again until like the 2nd week, 3rd week of July, and it's been fucking awesome. Just getting.
Yeah.
I got a man cave. Do you guys know the show Man Caves on DIY?
Yeah, we make fun of man caves on the show.
I fucking got one, and they're the fucking best thing ever. It's like shaving your pubes for the first time. You're like, oh, that does look gay, but it's fucking awesome. It's the best. I just get weird as fuck in that thing. Kegerator, wine refrigerator. Are you shitting me? I'm obsessed. I'm fucking all the gay shit I made fun of when I was younger. I'm like, fuck, I'll take it.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, fuck
it.
Yeah.
All right, so you're not working right now?
No, I'm off.
See, this is what we were just talking about.
I know, right?
Why the fuck are we working every day?
Just taking
Sorry,
some
Bert.
time.
Anyway, that's something.
Not having to deal with it.
When was the last? But you guys take vacations.
Yeah, we get vacations.
Yes.
Like, and you
5
you
days
have
a week.
time off Yeah.
To know you're going back.
We're pretty much slaves to this place right now.
You know when you're going back.
We got some shit to figure out down the road.
Why did you jump I don't know if it's for a show. No.
I just wanted to get to know him a little bit before we start talking about
I actually didn't know that.
The show.
I didn't know if it was for the show or not. Or
Yeah, it was for the show. They had just opened it, and we had it was like the first season, and they called and they were like, they got this new ride in Vegas called the Sky Jump, where you jump off the side of the stratosphere and you land on the ground. It's not bungee. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. But I had no frame of reference for how big the stratosphere was. I mean, it's as tall as the Sears Tower. So I get there, and I see it, and I start fucking flipping out. And then the night before, I had a full-blown anxiety attack, like throwing up in a bathtub, soaking wet with sweat. Called my wife, and I was like, I'm fucking running away. I'm going to drive to the middle of the desert and not show up. And she was like, you can't do that because they're going to sue us for the production cost. And she was like, call the producer and tell him you just can't do it. So I called Dan Adler, the head of one of the heads of our shows. I was like, I can't do it. And he was like, that's fine. He's like, I get it. There's going to be things you can't do, but I need you not to do it at the top. Like, I need you to be dressed on the edge.
Oh, ready to go.
And then not do it. Like, if you do that, then I can make a show out of that. But if you just say at the bottom, oh, I can't fucking do it. He's like, we don't have a show. So I was like, oh, okay. And in my head, I'm like, oh, fucking easy. I can do that.
Oh, he worked you so bad.
Man, yeah.
I have to say, he
brilliant.
got you bad.
I get dressed in
Just put the head in. That's what that was.
Right.
He's slipping with a moccasin. One finger, two finger, cock. And so
that's a smart guy right there.
So I get dressed in the outfit, and I'm like doing interviews, and I'm like, oh.
Knowing the whole time, I'm not doing this.
I'm not fucking doing this. And I was like, throw me from your building. And everyone's like, yeah. And everyone's chanting, Bert, Bert, Bert. And I get on the edge, and my camera guy, who's obsessed with your show, by the way, Scott Sands, he literally from day one, he's like, what are you doing, O&A? So he listens to every fucking episode.
Awesome.
So he's on the side of the building, harnessed in. This guy's fucking a gangster, not afraid of anything. And harnessed into the side of the building, leaning off of the camera like this fucking big 900 camera. And I'm on the edge, and I'm doing my reads, and I'm like, and in my head, I'm going to back out any second now. And he's like, starts giggling. I was like, what? And he lowers the camera, and he's like, there's like fucking 400 people here. I go, what? He's like, the mayor's down there with a shot of tequila. Like, he goes, it would be easier for you to jump than spend the next hour and a half explaining why you didn't jump. And I looked around, and there's like little kids around the glass enclosure like, Bert, Bert, Bert. And I look down, there's fucking people waiting for me. I'm like, holy shit. And he goes, dude, it's 16 seconds, and you'll never have to fucking explain why you didn't jump. And I was like, and then I just started fucking losing it. And I was like, fucking, I'm jumping. I'm on the phone, fucking jumping. And they're like, and everyone's like, no, we're not ready. We're not ready. Hold on, don't jump. And I was like, fuck you.
I gotta do it now, yeah.
And I just jumped, and it was the best feeling in the world. Like, I said it on the show, but it's better than the birth of my second child. Like, wow. It was like the first one you really remember, and then your second one, you're like, oh, I remember that kind of. I think I took a Xanax. We watched Uncle Buck. But I got on the ground, and I was like, I was alive. There's a moment when you do these crazy fucking events, like where you like bungee jumping in LA, where off a bridge, and that moment where the ride works, where the thing works, and you don't fucking die, where you've never felt more alive in your life. Like shovel racing in New Mexico, you just sit on a shovel and go down a mountain at 70 miles an hour, like in snow. The first part of shovel racing, you're like scared, and you're like, and then all of a sudden you get to like 40 miles an hour, and you're going good, and you're going straight, and you're like, oh, I'm fucking halfway down, and you're like, fucking charge it. You're like, those moments, I get chills thinking about it. But the sky jump was like,
when did it happen for the sky jump? The minute you left, or the minute because you don't slow down until you hit the fucking bottom.
The minute you feel the pulley system starting to work. Like the second you leap, you're like, motherfucker, and then all of a sudden you feel your body go parallel, and you're like, okay, this is working.
Do you feel like you're being lowered or falling? 'Cause I heard it's a controlled descent.
It's not as intense as like say like I did an unattached free fall, which they don't do anymore. It's illegal now, but they take you up in like a fucking tower, like a 15-story tower, and then draw you up, and there's a net underneath, and then they lower you below the cage in this harness, and they just pull a pin, and you fall into a net like 12 stories. Wow. There's no fucking feeling like that. I mean, I've skydove. I went skydiving with Rachel Ray, and that was like cool and crazy, but it's like that feeling of free fall. You don't get that on sky jump. It's beautiful, it's crazy, it's insane, and you definitely feel like you're free falling for like probably 12 seconds, 16 seconds, but it's not as intense. Like bungee jumps is more intense, in my opinion.
When you fall into a net, they have to tell you how to land so you don't fucking drive your chin into your fucking
They
knee.
don't tell you a fucking. That's why it's illegal now.
Fucking thing.
They literally. I mean, they didn't check. That thing was so. Let me tell you something. This fucking ride. It's called. I forget what it's called. They won't even show it on my show anymore. Like they don't show that episode that I did it in.
Why? You did it.
Because a girl got hurt, and so, this ride, when the guy made this ride, he was like, "This is gonna take over fucking theme parks. This is gonna be the biggest fucking ride ever, right?" So he goes to Vegas to the big coaster convention and puts it in the parking lot, and he gets his time to speak, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna revolutionize theme parks. Bungee jumps will be obsolete when you see what I have to offer, and if you'd like, I have a demonstration waiting for you outside." The fucking whole place stands up, walks outside, and they see this 15-story tower, and the guy goes, "All we do is we put a guy in that," and they start doing it, and we draw him up, and we take him up there, and we drop him, and they drop him, and they forgot to raise the net, and they killed a guy.
No.
First fucking time when they showed the fucking ride. Talk about fucking like,
How do you forget to raise the
to the
net?
drawing
How
board.
did he go? Or there's no net. That's fine.
It's happened a bunch of times. Like, it's happened more times than is legal, so that's why they
Damn.
shut the ride down. But yeah, that's insane. One of the craziest moments.
Fuck. That's
Bungee jumping seems like
that's great. I can only do it once.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm not into heights. I can't do. How was skydiving? Was that really horrifying?
Yeah, because I'm a micromanager and like anxiety. So like I can totally get myself into a panic attack easy. And the night before, I'm in New York. We did it in New York, and I'm sitting in my hotel room, and I start Googling deaths of skydiving.
Oh no! Why?
Well, that's not going to help.
Why?
So uncomfortably high. Like you'd think, what would you think the number would be? Like 5 a year? I mean, like you'd think you'd hear about them.
For the
Right.
whole
Yeah.
for the whole country?
Fucking 40. Like they die all the time.
Man.
The mayor of Pennsylvania, some town in Pennsylvania, died like the week after I went. Like it happens constantly. And so my whole fear is like, what if the chute doesn't open?
Yeah.
Like,
That's the biggest.
that's your thing. And
Well, that's pretty much it.
That's it. That's the only
Yeah.
thing you give a shit about. And so Rachel was sitting next to me. I haven't flown sober in 20 years. And I'm flying sober backwards in some dude's lap, and I'm grabbing Rachel's leg like fucking panicked. And she's like, she's freaking out, like, calm down. And then she says, whatever you do, don't watch me go out of the plane. I was like, why? She was like, just don't. And of course, I'm like, I'm fucking watching.
Now you're gonna watch.
You get sucked out of the plane, just like in a movie. And I see that, and I start losing it. And then the guy's like, we're next. And I'm like, and I'm doing all the nervous hand things to stop. And the first drop, you feel that it's an awesome feeling. But then there is a moment when you're screaming at the earth, 3 miles above the earth at 120 miles an hour, where your brain says, what if the chute doesn't open? And then the only rational thought is, fuck it. Like, there's nothing I can do about this moment.
Yeah, done.
When you're falling, how do you not? How do you not flail and kick? Isn't that your instinct?
You hold on to. They tell you just hold on to your straps, and we'll do everything. The guy said to me, he's like, you can't kill us. Like, that's what he said. He's like, you can't. And in my head, I'm like, I could totally fucking kill us.
I bet I could kill us.
I guarantee you I could fucking kill us.
Oh, he was a tandem jump?
Yeah, it was tandem.
Oh, okay,
He was
okay.
Just hold on.
What if you punched him and knocked him out?
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, in my head, I was like, I could think of 10 ways. I bet I could come up with the most original way to kill us that you never fucking saw coming.
You're not going to do it on purpose, but all of a sudden you lose it because you're freaked out and knock him out.
Well, he said, he's like, if at like 6,000 feet or 3,000 feet, an emergency chute will open.
Yeah, it's like set on an altimeter. Yeah.
So,
Oh, is that how they do that? So you don't have to pull
it's
it?
an emergency
you have to
thing.
pull it. You have to pull it.
But there are chutes that will open when you hit a certain altitude if you get knocked out or
How do you know what the fucking height is?
you have a watch that has it's an altimeter. Like, so it's.
What if it falls off?
It's not going to fall off, Jimmy.
But these are all the thoughts I was having. In bed the night before.
Jimmy's innocent questions are adorable.
But it's true. What if your watch fucking breaks?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. What if you hit a fucking bird and you like? I always think of that
shit,
Yeah.
right. Oh, wow, yeah,
You
right.
hit a
That would
bird
hurt.
and
that
then
hurt?
you get knocked at 120 miles
Knock
an
the
hour.
fuck out.
It would be like catching a foot to the face out of a car window. Oh, that would fucking. I thought
Like
of all
Fabio on the roller coaster when the bird hit him in the face.
Yep.
That was talking about
classic.
luck.
I know.
Hey,
Great.
can we take a break?
Yeah, we could do that.
Could you stay, Bert?
Yeah, of course.
We got Linda Hogan at 9.
Shut up.
You want to stay for that? You can.
We're gonna ask her about.
I grew up
Warrior.
in Florida.
We're going to ask her some shit.
the Ultimate Warrior was saying some really bad things about
basically
like Hulk
she was passed
and
around,
her.
passed around to all the wrestlers, and we have to ask her about it.
And it's not a wrestling work; it's like real.
Yeah.
This guy.
I have some very good questions.
And Jimmy's got very
yeah,
good
we'll let you
questions.
ask some good questions.
Yes, Jimmy prepares.
Yeah, Jimmy prepares.
He types out his questions.
Well, we only
everything.
got the book yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to read it, so I just perused.
Just read the end. I think it ends with a divorce.
Yeah, you just read the end.
Yes.
I want to find out if Hulk fucked beautiful Elizabeth.
All right.
But I don't know if she knows that. Well, I bet you can ask her that.
Wait, you know that?
Yeah. That's Randy Macho Man Savage's big beef as he went down and Elizabeth was there and Hulk was like naked. And he was like, oh, Elizabeth's in the other room, brother. Yeah. I was a big wrestling. I grew up in Florida, man. Wrestling was like
huge.
And they all lived there. Like you'd go to the matches.
It's like E-Rock. He grew up in Florida and he loves wrestling.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he rocks from Florida,
dude.
He rocks a
Long
Florida
Island.
guy.
What?
Listen, Bert the Conqueror, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. on the Travel Channel. We're going to take a quick break, continue with Bert, and then Linda Hogan at 9, all right?
I'm going to go out and meet Fonzie.
Oh,
yeah.
Henry Winkler's here?
Yes.
I just met him last night.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny as shit.
Did he do Letterman?
Yeah, he did Letterman. He did like their Is This Anything game.
I saw him on a reverse mortgage commercial though last night. It was kind of freaky. Like,
What
what's
is
the
Fonzie not
Fonz?
going to have a place to live?
The
Of course he
Fonz is
is.
doing a reverse
He doesn't
mortgage.
get that Happy
commercial.
Days money, I guess, huh?
I was waiting. I had to tweet it like I was like, "What's next, Pinky Tuscadero?" in one of those vaginal prolapse commercials. How's your vaginal mesh?
Did you like Pinky or Leather?
I like leather.
I hated the way she did this, though. The fucking...
How could you not?
And the point?
That's fucking awful.
That was her thing.
Yeah, look at that leather Tuscadero.
Fucking mullet. It was really awful.
All
And
I
what were
remember
the
from that is
twins?
The Malachi Crunch.
The Malachi
Crunch.
Right.
The twins were the...
The twins that Fonzie never fucked, but always made it seem like he was gonna.
who were
Fonzie
they?
never had sex with anybody, never fought anybody. He
Yeah.
was just a fucking talker.
I wonder why he didn't want to do the show. Believe me, we would have brought this all up.
No, but that's not Henry Winkler. It's Fonzie.
Exactly.
Talk about Pat Morita had the fucking worst gig. Guy could speak perfect English. And they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
fucking, can you
Can you
cut
dumb it
up?
down?
Chink it up for us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, there you go.
I was watching The Karate Kid the other day, and I thought to myself, do you think at any point Daniel's mom was like, I think this janitor's trying to fuck my son? They spend a lot of time together.
We go to break with that. More with Bert the Conqueror next.
Sirius XM, The Virus. You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
All right, what's going on? We got Linda Hogan coming in about 20 minutes. Bert
Oh, she's
Kreischer.
going to be in the fucking room?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it so much more uncomfortable.
Oh, I know. It's going to be bad.
How do you say your last name?
Kreischer, you said it right.
Yeah.
Kreischer.
And it's Bert Kreischer on Twitter. Kreischer. He's a good one to follow. Bert the Conqueror, Wednesdays, 10 p.m.
I do.
On the Travel Channel.
I do something on Twitter. I haven't done it in a while, but I do something called What Will the Maid Think? Where I take pictures and go to bertbertbert.com and you'll see it. I put
You got bertbert.com?
Bert.
Bert.
Go to blog, and I leave the room in a way so the maid goes, "What the fuck? It happened in this room." And this is literally
What a great idea.
it's awesome.
What the fuck is that?
That's just some pillows and a robe. Here, go back and see
Holy shit, it's pillows and a robe set up to look like someone puking in the toilet.
Yeah, and then I leave the room like that. This one's one of my favorite. These were the shoes from my wardrobe that day and the jeans from my wardrobe. And then that's
Holy
a lamp.
shit.
These are the fucking funniest things.
You make it look like there's a dead body under the bed. That's
Yeah.
classic.
Here, go to the toilet snake's my favorite. I did this one at the W here.
Too bad you can't get the reaction.
How fucking great is
You
that?
should get a camera set up.
I should, except it's
Illegal, aren't they?
I mean that, and I like, God forbid, I did it. It got really big, it got really big in Sweden, like
Really?
they fucking for some reason like Scandinavia. Fucking loved this shit. This one's really simple and just genius. Like,
Oh, fucking the sheet out the window tied to a chair leg.
Oh, that's great.
I literally Scandinavia exploded about this. They've crashed my site, crashed everything.
That's
and then the
great.
Today Show got a hold of it, and they were calling me the world's worst traveler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, look who it is.
Henry
Winkler.
I saw you last night.
There he is.
Yeah, how you doing?
How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Henry. How are
Henry?
you? Pleasure to meet you.
How you doing?
Opie,
Good?
Anthony, Jimmy,
Yeah, you
Bert.
guys are funny.
Oh,
thanks,
thank you,
man.
sir.
Absolutely.
Do you want to sit?
Thanks.
I don't mind standing.
No. I'm so good. I'm standing. I'm
My
having a great time.
my wife was getting burgers at the Park Meridian, ran into you and said, "Man, that Henry Winkler is the nicest guy ever."
But okay, listen, the burger joint. Now, to me, best burger maybe in the United States.
It's crazy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and no one knows about it
It's
until
hidden in a corner.
Everybody talks about the Shake Shack.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. But the burger joint at the Park Meridian used to be P.J. Clark's on 53rd and 3rd. We would stop there. We would land in New York, and before we went to the hotel, we would stop there for a burger.
Yeah.
But the burger joint is like out of control.
It really is great,
We
man.
ran into you.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have been nicer. You could have been nicer to everyone around you.
What are you promoting?
You know, I've just written a book. Well, tomorrow, one of my favorite television shows that I've ever been on, except for Happy Days, is Royal Pains.
I thought you were gonna say Bert the Conqueror.
Oh, you know what? I don't know that show yet, but I'm
Don't worry,
watching
no one
it.
does.
No, I'm watching that.
Oh, thanks.
Because, do you do that show?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
You can't talk about your book.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
look great, even in the studio.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So I can imagine how adorable you are on TV. What is Bert the Conqueror?
Henry, see, it's like I said,
No,
he's
but
so
what,
nice.
What channel is it on?
The Travel Channel.
What do you do? Okay, so the book is called I Never Met an Idiot on the River.
Bert's losing his mind.
Oh my God.
I know.
I was at the Late Show talking to him last night, and he was talking about fly fishing with Justin, and I just sat there and I was like, I can't believe it's Henry Winkler. Like it's so. I went up and they were all talking, and I go, my name's Bert. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he goes, hey, and I go, I just want to listen. And I just stood around the corner and listened to you talk.
That's not creepy at all. That's perfect.
But I met those two guys.
The
who
Stengels.
are the head
The Stengels.
writers.
They're friends of ours.
Oh my God!
They're great
I
guys.
met them on Twitter because I'm a twittering fool now.
Yeah.
And I am 50 people away from 61,000 fellow Twitter people.
boy, you'll get that.
You want to see the power of the show? What's your Twitter?
Huh?
What's your Twitter?
H Winkler 4, the number 4 real.
Oh, okay.
I
H.
started
Winkler
following you
for
last night.
real.
For
Yeah.
real, right?
So, but anyway, I met the Stengel brothers on Twitter, and I met them first when they were twittering live from Charlie Sheen's show, and I swear to you, they were so great at it.
Funny.
It was like I was in the seat with them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You got every emotion, every feeling about how horrible he was doing. And the next thing I did was I tweeted with them. They were having a Seder at Passover.
Yeah.
right.
They're actually Jewish. And and I thought, oh my God, I'm no longer hungry. The food was so delish. And then I got to meet them, and I did my second comedy bit last night.
Yeah.
On the David Letterman show.
You were great.
Oh, thanks.
You killed.
Thanks.
I have a copy of your book. They gave us.
I never met
yeah.
an idiot on the river.
It's like you're holding a big fish. Looks like when I tell a big fish story.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Here, you want to see? This is
Henry,
where they are.
It's about fly fishing, you said?
No, it's called I Never Met an Idiot on the River.
Okay.
And it started as pictures that I took while fly fishing on the river. And then they asked me to write, what did you learn on the river? I'm going to just, here's one. This is 8:30 at night. Here.
Beautiful. That's
nice.
I love a good
a sunset, right?
I love the sunset.
You like a good sunset.
I sure do.
So that's what it's about.
I tried fly fishing, I guess it's almost 2 years ago. I loved it. I thought I went as a joke because one of our friends likes doing that.
Right.
I'm like, all right,
Where did you
I'll
go?
go for the joke. Up Roscoe.
Uh-huh.
And I had a ball, man. It was
great.
awesome. I didn't
really
catch anything,
difficult.
but
Well, you know what? It is not that difficult. You learn it in a half an hour.
Yeah.
You apply it to the rest of your life. And the fact is that when you're
What's wrong
Sorry,
with you?
no. I just thought of how many things in my life I learned in a half an hour that I still do. I was like, wow, you could say that about a lot of things I do.
But let me ask you a question. I really want to know what is your show about? I'm going to watch just for the laugh.
Oh, good. That's all I do. It's laugh.
He's beat red. What's up with you,
I don't know.
Bert?
It's just bizarre that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know that you guys do this every single day, but I don't just hang out with Henry Winkler every single day.
No, but what is your show about?
He just wants to know.
In a sense.
I do. I'm a tour guide for thrills. If there's something crazy and wild in a city, I go out and do it. Like if it's a bungee jump off a bridge, if it's redneck water skiing.
So, what was the most amazing thing you've ever done?
Probably jumping off the stratosphere. I was just telling Jim. It was like a life defining moment, like just overwhelming.
Right.
Getting over anxiety.
That first moment, is it so scary that you don't know what to do?
Yeah. Full blown anxiety attack, not breathing. Like I went to the bathroom in my pants a little bit.
Right.
It was
Sure.
It was a little much.
Because I just did, and I have never done it.
What, have you ever done anything
I
like
went to the
that?
bathroom in my pants just listening.
Me too. I did too.
We're kind of starstruck today. We talked to a lot of celebrities, but I'm starstruck today. Bert,
Who's the most famous person you've met?
The most famous...
Like that kind of overwhelmed you, and you're like, God, I can't do the Fonzie
It had
thing
to
at
be a
all.
U.S. president. It had to, because Fonzie's one of the most famous characters ever.
I'd like to meet our president. I would like to meet Barack Obama.
Is it weird to you that you know for a fact he knows who you are? Like that, the men like that know you.
Yeah.
I don't know that he knows.
He does.
Everyone knows
You're an
that.
I take that
icon.
for granted
You're an iconic character.
until I look him in the eye. You know.
Who did you meet that actually blew you away?
I'm oh, you know, I have the hardest time meeting rock stars. I met Elton John, and I went, "Hey, John, I want to tell you." I met Mick Jagger on a plane, and I went, "Shut up!" Couldn't speak.
Did he know who you were?
Yes,
He had to.
He
Yeah.
said,
Okay.
"Hi, Henry. How
Pop
I met Bruce Springsteen. If I ever am reincarnated, I'm coming back as Bruce.
Wow.
And I met
Roland's
him,
a
and
big Bruce
I
fan.
met his wife. I kissed her hand. I shook Bruce's hand, and I kissed his hand. And I thought to myself, what did you just do? Leave
awesome.
the room now.
No, that's so crazy that it almost sounds like it's an artistic thing to do. That's so nuts. It almost
I wasn't
it works.
thinking artistic. I
Right.
was thinking embarrassing.
Yeah. No, it works.
fan.
Henry, they're saying you have to go, but we have to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't Fonzie ever beat anyone up? We have talked about this on our show off and on for
so many
years.
times.
Everyone was
It's
scared
true.
of Fonzie, but
I'll
we're
tell
like,
you
he
why.
never beat anyone up.
I'll tell you why. Because power comes from inside. Cool is from inside. You don't need to hit somebody. You don't need to make fun of somebody. You can just be, and with that, intimidate. I just did a movie on cage fighting.
You sound like Joe Rogan when you said that.
Okay, he was in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
I saw a promo for it this morning.
I would hate to fight a cage. I'd probably get beat up or something.
you know what? You would. Because these men are Zen gentlemen, and in that ring, they will eat your heart
That
out.
is true. We've had a lot of them on the show, and they're the nicest
Oh,
guys.
my goodness.
But
Yeah.
then you just see them in the ring, and they just flip a switch.
But Boz
Boz Rutan.
Yeah, Rutan.
Yeah.
Was one of my actors in the movie. He was my corner man. And Boz, he said, I tell you something, he's from Holland. I tell you something, you know, I'm sitting in a bar and then 5 men, they come to me and I go, okay, I guess so. And I stand up and I start to walk at them and they go, no, we want your autograph. Because he can kick you twice before you ever knew you were kicked once.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I
That's
can shake your
amazing.
hand. That's about it.
Yeah.
We got to push the book because we got to get
Yes,
Yes.
it's called I've Never Met an Idiot on the River, and it's a lot of photographs and things that
Are they nice
Henry did.
photographs?
They're really great, actually.
Thank you
they
very
are
much.
excellent. They're excellent. I like
Yes.
their photography.
It's a pleasure meeting
And a
you.
true
Absolutely.
legend, Henry Winkler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well. Hey, Jimmy, don't
I won't.
Don't ruin my picture.
Oh, you guys bothering poor Henry for pictures.
Hey, thank you so much for stopping in.
Could you sign your book,
thank
Mr.
you.
Winkler, and then we'll leave you alone. Thank
then
you
we'll
very
leave you
much.
alone.
To Jim on the cover, because I'm going to display it in my.
We're still
my
on the
thing.
air, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I think they know.
yeah. It's Henry Winkler.
Come on, listeners.
Trumps everybody.
Hey, listeners.
Thank
I
you
took
very
a picture
much.
of you and I tweeted it with Jim Norton.
Do you know what? I was not supposed to be on this show.
I know.
Yeah.
This is great.
I listened to you guys. I'm so happy I was here.
Thank you very
so
much.
wait,
I wish I had something to do with the show.
You've
Thank
come
you.
up on the
Great-
show
great
so
to
many
meet you.
times. It's a great to
We
have
get
you,
a bad
have you on finally.
reputation, but all
Thank
right,
you.
there goes
Thanks a
Henry
lot.
Winkler,
Bye, guys.
everyone.
Take care.
That was cool.
Man.
Thank you to Bert because he saw Bert in here and he came in.
Fuck
and,
Bert.
Yeah, that's right.
Bert turned beet red.
Do you think when? Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What, Kenny?
Kenny's
What
got
happened?
Kenny's got a news alert.
We didn't.
It wasn't because of Bert.
Oh.
He saw the Opie and Anthony logo. He says, these guys are very funny. And
does-
Roland says, why don't you go in and say hello?
How does the Fonz know our show?
Oh,
See,
my
that freaks me out a little bit.
God, am I?
That's crazy.
Not that it's about me,
Yeah.
but look at the picture of Henry, and oh my God, it's fucking Darth Vader without the helmet. I should never.
Jimmy!
I'm just fucking ugly.
This could be one of the worst pictures of you I've ever seen. I swear.
That's a Make-A-Wish picture.
You know what's the worst thing is there's a glare on your face.
No, the worst
that
thing is
makes
my
it-
9 necks.
It looks like your chin has balls.
That is, because you always go,